fantastic. I've always wanted to catch an anaconda. I'm a vegetarian, I promise.
This is a big one, a big femur.
To come face to face with giant creatures, I travelled 6 times around the world.
It is coming so close. And this is a wild bear.
To show just how big the giants are, you need something for scale. And that something is me. The great white shark. The star of Jaws and 1,000 nightmares, and I'm gonna swim with one. For me, all sharks are spellbinding. There are 380 species. 300 of those are smaller than we are. My search for large sharks begins in the Bahamas, where squadrons of Caribbean reef sharks gather to be fed like ducks in a park. They can detect a single molecule of blood in 1 million molecules of water. With this sense of smell, they can home in on food in complete darkness, so a feeding frenzy can take place at any time, day or night. I can't wait to get down there, but whenever I join sharks in their element, I get a little scared, and this is the first time I've been down with them at night.
You can only see them when they swim through the torchlight. This is eerie, seeing them coming right up of the darkness towards me. Their design is perfect and hasn't changed in 350 million years. This is a big one, a big female. She must be nearly 9 feet. That's 1.5 times my height. I can sense my heartbeat, which is beating pretty hard at the moment. She shook my arm like a dog shaking a bone and pulled my chainmail glove off. I don't want this experience to end, but my air's running out and I've got to go back to the boat.
Reef sharks are tiny compared to the largest sharks in the world. To see these giants, I go to the tropical coast of northwest Australia. But there's a problem in paradise. Every autumn here, the biggest fish in the ocean gather on the coral reefs. This should be a tropical paradise, but all we've got at the moment is the biggest cyclone in the history of this coast. Cyclone Vance is bringing winds of 250 kilometres an hour and storm tides which are 6 metres above the normal range. This is not the time to go looking for whale sharks. During the night, Cyclone Vance moved to within 100 kilometres of us, and it's getting closer. We're all hoping that Exmouth won't have a direct hit. I've been really close to potentially dangerous animals, but I've never been in a cyclone before. It's only when you're right in a giant weather system you realise how formidable they actually are. This motel room is just 3 doors away from mine. Exmouth was battered by the cyclone for 4 or 5 hours. It's just about subsiding now. Judging by this damage, the devastation in the town must be absolutely terrible. Cyclone Vance brought the strongest winds ever to hit the Australian mainland. Miraculously, no one was killed, but the town was flattened and the clean-up will take months. To see a whale shark, I must travel south to an area that the cyclone missed. The waves are breaking on Ningaloo Reef, a reef that extends for over 200 kilometres along the coast of Western Australia. The sharks are somewhere on the other side, but they cruise near the surface, so to find them you need one of these.
Exmouth there, this is Jim Bay over.
The spotter plane guides us to the shark. Whale sharks swim at about 5 kilometres an hour, that's about 3 miles per hour. That's easy for an Olympic swimmer, but I'm not one, so I hope I can keep up. This is so exciting I can hardly breathe. The shark seems to be slowing down so I can catch up. This fish is 40 feet long and weighs 15 tons. I feel like I'm swimming next to a submerged bus. There are several thousand teeth in here, but they're tiny. The whale shark actually feeds by filtering plankton from seawater. It seems barely credible. This vast body is nourished by tiny creatures, no bigger than grains of rice. I have company. There's a posse of smaller fish living in the giant's shadow. They're safer here than in open water. I feel so honoured being in the company of this gentle giant, but as sharks go, it's a wimp. Now, proper sharks eat flesh. They may not be as big as the whale shark, but they're still giants. To meet one of those, I pack my winter woolies and head north. We're flying above Greenland, the world's largest island. 80% of it is covered by ice, but somewhere down there, that's where my search for the largest flesh-eating sharks is really going to begin. The shark I'm looking for can be so massive. One was found with the complete carcass of a reindeer inside its stomach. This mystical creature lives in the deep ocean, up to a mile down. At this time of year, it's under the ice. Fishing through an ice hole is one of the only ways of seeing a Greenland sleeper shark. I'm so excited, I really want to see what's down there, and I can't wait till it's hauled out onto the ice. This is scary though. Even though I've got a safety line, I've never dived under ice before, and one of my worst nightmares is being trapped underneath it. Okay?
With a Greenland shark. They've never been known to attack humans, and I'm thankful for that, because I'm really, really close.
This sleeper shark certainly lives up to its name. It moves very slowly, but it can catch fast-moving fish. even salmon.
Again.
We've got to get the shark off the line and back into the sea as quickly as possible. This one's over 2 metres long, but they can grow 4 times this size and weigh 2 tonnes, which is as much as a minibus. The skin is absolutely amazing. All sharks have skin like sandpaper. It really is rough. It's so sharp it's damaged my skin. You can see there where it's rubbed the skin away. But the most extraordinary thing, the weirdest thing about this shark is its eyes. Look at that. All Greenland sharks have a parasite, a tiny copepod. It's a shrimp-like creature, and it attaches actually to the eyeball and feeds on the skin on the front of the eye. It virtually blinds the shark, but the parasite may actually help it because it flails about in the water. This will attract in fish which come close to the eye, and then they can be snapped up by the shark. But we've got to get this thing back in the water as quickly as we can.
I leave spring in Greenland and head for Australia where it's autumn. That's the best time for seeing great whites. Everyone's heard of the great white shark. It has a reputation for being a ferocious man-eater. But do they really have a taste for human flesh? I'm with Rodney Fox. He nearly lost his life to one. Now he studies them.
What's the biggest one you've seen, and how big do great whites really get, do you think?
When we were filming for the Jaws movie out here, the largest shark I ever saw came in. Its fin came out and sent up a huge bow wave. It was probably 19 to 20 feet long.
And what do you think is the biggest one ever? Have you seen any good records?
Well, the great whites probably grow to 22, 23 feet long. Fishermen have caught them that so big they couldn't put them in the boat.
The great white that attacked Rodney was medium-sized. He still has the scars but doesn't bear a grudge. Like me, he realises that whenever we enter the shark's world, it's at our own risk. Great whites can kill people, but they don't hunt them. To find out why, I need to meet their natural prey. It's not these dolphins, it's the sea lions.
This is Hopkins Island, our first destination. The most wonderful places in the world, where sea lions gallop down the beach to greet you, just like dogs. Rodney's assured me that there's only been 3 records of great white sharks here in the last 30 years. And that's great because it means I can dive with these beautiful creatures.
Blubber is what makes these sea lions a preferred food for great whites. The sharks need the concentrated energy it gives them. They're very particular about what they eat. Humans have too much muscle and not enough fat to be a worthwhile prey. Hopkins Island is just a resting place for sea lions. They don't breed there, so there's not enough of them to attract sharks. But there's another island that's literally crawling with babies.
These absolutely beautiful creatures are New Zealand fur seals. Their baby's only 3 weeks old. These rookeries of fur seals are one of the reasons that great white sharks gather here. They patrol offshore waiting to intercept the parents coming back to feed the pups. And when these little ones go into the sea for the first time, the sharks will be waiting for them.
We're anchored off a shark restaurant. Now all we need is the sharks. Rodney is preparing a mixture of fish blood and oil, which smells absolutely delightful. Thrown overboard, it produces an odour corridor that's irresistible to sharks. A balloon is attached to the bait. If this goes under, we're in business. For 6 days we watched and waited, but nothing came. Most of the breeding sharks have been killed by trophy hunters. The great white is now protected here. I hope it's not too late. Maybe my luck will change in South Africa. Near Cape Town, there's another restaurant for great white sharks. On the menu here, South African fur seals. I'm on a new boat with a new skipper.
Okay, Andrew, you could throw the anchor.
And a new shark expert, Andre Hartman. He swims with great whites.
That's the most famous dorsal fin in the ocean. There's a white shark cruising just below the surface. The fin's like a sail. It's approaching the bait.
We were in Australia for days and we never saw a great white shark. We've just been here for 20 minutes and there's one attacking the bait.
This is absolutely unbelievable. Look at the way the jaws are working. It's onto the bait. It's trying to shear off a chunk of flesh.
Surprisingly, the shark bites with about the same force as a human. But we don't have razor-sharp teeth or jaws that move forward when we bite. This great predator can tear fur seals apart, or if it wanted to, slice me in half. This magnificent killing machine is the reason I've travelled thousands of miles. To meet a great white shark in its own territory has always been my dream. And to do that, I must get into the water.
I've never done this before, Andre. What have I got to watch out for?
You just got to watch out if the shark comes at you, don't run away from it. Rather stay stationary or go towards it.
Right.
That's all you have to worry about.
Okay, just go towards the shark. Let's do it.
The skipper kept the 8-foot shark interested. Andre felt that this one would be a perfect candidate for my first encounter.
I've drunk loads of water, but my mouth feels really dry. The adrenaline rush of this is unbelievable. I still can't believe I'm going to go for a dip with one of the world's biggest predators. Okay, Andre.
The point of no return. Our only protection, a spear gun that doesn't even work.
White sharks have got really good colour vision. I hope they like pink. The only trouble is, scientists think that this colour, sharks consider yum yum yellow. I hope they're wrong.
What we didn't know is that while we were getting ready, our shark had left in a hurry. We soon found out why. The smaller shark didn't feel comfortable being close to a 16-foot giant, but I was too excited to care. Close up, the great white is more magnificent than I could ever have imagined. On the boat, Andre said, whatever happens, stand your ground or swim towards the shark. I'd better follow him. The giant shark was curious. Perhaps it hadn't swum with people before. Our only problem, sharks investigate their surroundings with their mouth and sensitive teeth. They wade in jaws first. Even the gentlest of bites would be a disaster.
That was absolutely sensational. I felt so small next to that shark. The only annoying thing, it wasn't the shark's fault, is I could not get that theme tune. You know the film theme tune I mean. I couldn't get it out of my head. That was as thrilling as any attraction in any theme park anywhere in the universe. White sharks have got an absolutely terrible reputation, but they're certainly not malicious and they're certainly not monsters. If they were, it would have been impossible to do what we just did. Because of their reputation, they're being hunted, they're getting rarer and rarer. But as far as I'm concerned, the ocean would be a much poorer place without them.